Kevin, what is the holdup?
Oh, there is a big holdup here on Capitol Hill, Jonathan. Just within the last hour and a half, headlines crossing the terminal that President Trump putting on hold his plans to travel to Mar-a-Lago for that fundraiser, mega fundraiser, about $100,000 a pop in order to get a ticket into Mar-a-Lago, marking the one-year anniversary of his time in office. The reason, of course, the political drama surrounding this shutdown. The House of Representatives last night passing a short-term continuing resolution, keeping the government funded through February 16th, kicking it to the Senate, but quite frankly, the votes just simply aren't there right now. And the meetings all morning have started in terms of deal making. But as you've been mentioning, Wall Street barely blinking at the latest political drama here in Washington.
Kevin, it's really important to note, though, that the Democrats have some rare leverage here ahead of the midterms later this year. Is this their one big opportunity to get what they want done?
Well, on the issue of immigration, the Democrats certainly feel that they have leverage, particularly surrounding Dreamers, the 800,000 or so folks who were brought here at a young age illegally, but for all intents and purposes grew up American. Now, the reason this issue has gotten wrapped into this fight is because of the Republicans' insistence to increase funding along the U.S.-Mexico border. Most polls suggest that Americans are standing behind these Dreamers, and the business community has consistently made a case behind these Dreamers as well. Now, on the flip side of that, when you look back at the 2013 shutdown, I can remember that Senator Ted Cruz was largely blamed for that, and he, of course, being a Republican. So yesterday, President Trump embarking for a campaign rally of sorts in western Pennsylvania, a state he won in the campaign, saying before he got there that he feels that Democrats will get the blame for this. But Democrats, as you mentioned, Jonathan, digging in and saying, hey, wait a minute, not so fast. We're just a couple of months ahead of the midterms. Do you really want to have a shutdown with governing bodies in all branches of government?
Kevin, really separate issue, of course. The debt ceiling debate is something else. But I do wonder how this shapes us up for the potential debt ceiling showdown as well.
Great question, because I think that this does, I think when we talk about the shutdown, no one really cares about it in terms of its long-lasting effects on the market. But it does weaken a lot of the leverage and a lot of the negotiation points that you have within the factions of the Republican Party. And so the President and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin have really been, to some extent, pushing aside on the issue of the debt limit concerns, the Freedom Caucus, and some of the more conservative factions of the Republican Party. They're not going to like that, and they're going to feel a bit more emboldened should there be a government shutdown. That's the type of longer-term political fallout that we could see with just a couple of weeks before the president is set to make his second State of the Union address.